Hey guys, what's up? So far we've been looking into RequireJS and how we can improve the way your code is built by setting everything into modules and working with it together so that you can actually make some calls on modules without having to worry about a problem on references and only call the modules that you really want to use. Today we will wrap up with it by addressing two things, by ending up by creating the calculator.js in here as a module and another student.js that will actually use this module, and main.js will be using this one. So pretty much main.js use the student.js and student.js use the calculator to do some operations. So if that's all set up, we can start. So open your web editor. So far we created the class and we added a function inside. I'll add a couple of other functions like this subtraction. Then it's gonna be a function. I'll just return this subtraction. Then the subtraction will just be the result of this dot number 1 minus this dot number 2, and that's done. We can add a last function. This multiplication is gonna be function. We'll return multiplication, then we do this, then the number 1 times the number 2. Actually, it doesn't matter for the multiplication what order the number are, but just as a safety. Then we close here. So that's done. We have a total of 3 functions for this class. We'll create another module. The module is student. And to do that, I just create another tab and I just add a syntax that is JavaScript. Make sure you use the one that is in compliance with your web editor. You recall to create just a define function. Then I use require here because I want to call the module calculator. Then I just need to close here like that. What I'll do next is pretty simple. I use a function that is meant to be a class. That's what I use with capital, and the student will have a name. That's great. And the name of the student, I start with this with the underscore. We'll take the name in here, or if you prefer, you can just do that, like declare the variable then initialize it this way. Great. We need to create a function that will actually make all the calculation. Make all calculation. And it will just be a function that will take 2 numbers, number 1 then number 2, and that's done. What I'll do is, like, I'm just going to create a calculator in here, but in order to do that I need to call the calculator from the calculator file. So it's pretty simple. I'm just going to use here calculator, and I need to require it from calculator. That's the class, and I can use an instance of the class here with the, then I just choose a new calculator. Then all I need to do is just enter the numbers, number 1 then number 2. My goal now is just to use all the method the class calculator is providing. So I'll just do console.log. First of all, I'll say my name is, then I give the name, Then I'm just gonna give all the calculation in here, calculator. Then I'll use addition. Then console.log, calculator, subtraction. Then console.log, calculator dot multiplication. Then at the end, just to differentiate for nice output, I'm just going to add a line in here just to divide if I have a couple of students I want to declare or something like that. I'll record this, I'll save it as student.js with capital S, and it will be a module, and it goes straight. I had to put it under this, so I need to actually save it again and put it under the app folder, student.js. Yeah, great. And I'll delete this one. Okay, awesome. Make sure you're working on student.js in here. We'll do that saving by double clicking in here. All right. So once you have it, a couple of things. We need to return this student class because it's a module. Okay, and we need to override the prototype. By overriding the constructor, and we return student. For proper reference, when you want to reference it in memory, then you need to just be able to also use the function getStudent that will actually retrieve the instance, a reference to this object by returning this. And that's done. So that's pretty much how it works. All we need to do here now is just call. We can get rid of all this. We just say var, and we call the class inside the main file. Class student equals require student. Then we have var. We can have like the first student now. It says new student, and I give a name, William. Then I have the second student, student 2, and I give a name, John. The last thing I'll do is simple, I call student 1, and I say make calculations, and it takes the number 40, then 90, I put 80, yeah, and I save this. So if there are errors, we're gonna debug it together. So we go inside our browser and we reload it, and we have multiplication is not a function, but all the other functions have been working very well. So it's pretty cool that we can see it, so that we can actually just go to multiplication in here, and we'll click on calculator. You have multiplication. We just save it like that, and we go in here, we come in here, and we just paste it like that. Okay, so now that everything is complete, you have this multiplication equals function. Okay, in here there's a little error. We didn't add the plus here to say okay, this calculate first of all in the bracket, then add this to the string in here before displaying. So if we come in here and we just refresh it, we have this, and it works pretty well. In case you want to just use this as a you can actually just use the student to, that is John, and just make all the calculation with different numbers. You can use 50, then 10, for instance, and it will give us the result of the second one. You have two students, we have William in here, and we have John. So this wraps up the use of the modular script loading with RequireJS with regards to manipulating and improving the way you code your web application with regards to JavaScript.